are live. What is up? NBA rundown time. Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks. And someone brought the guns today. C-Dome. I saw Big T yesterday. He was worried you were trying to intimidate him. But hey, we're not intimidated by that, Tyler. We're just happy to have Chris with us. Always bringing the winners, sipping on some coffee as well. So Tyler, I talk to you every day. Let's start with Chris. How have things been since I've seen you, right? We had a little all-star break. We haven't been able to talk for about a week, but I did see you jump on the final countdown yesterday. The only thing worse than the Houston Rockets is JSU's internet. So you jumped through and you got things done. But interesting night in the NBA last night. Did you have eyes on the association?
Yeah, of course. So, it's actually been a few weeks, man, since we've been together. This little threesome here. That was probably not the best word, but we had the All-Star break, and then your boy was in Cabo. I was trying to make the show happen at the resort, bro, but it just wasn't working out. So, good to be back with the boys. We got a nice little slate. I know we're going to have to talk about Lakers chalk tonight, which is sickening after what happened last night with some of those ancillary pieces. But, yeah, last night was interesting. Me and you, Spread, were talking right before the show. I had like 80% Beal, like 50% Kuzma, had a ton of Gafford, a ton of Walker Kessler, Davis. But once again, man, I fell for like the Chris Dunn chalk. I fell for the Vanderbilt chalk. I wrote a tweet yesterday but way before the slate, I said there's only been 3 power forwards all season to get double-digit boards against the Grizzlies. And I told myself I am fading Vanderbilt, and I end up having 80% because I'm a fit. I feel like a fish. Like, I legit feel like a fish after last night. So maybe we can get some redemption here tonight and run it back and find some plays. But happy to be here, boys.
Yeah, I think that we're going to do that, right? We do look at things from a different perspective, right, Tyler? We're bets first and foremost. Right, I'm doing sides and totals. Tyler's killing it on the props, and maybe we'll open your eyes up to a couple things because I do notice just from consuming all the DFS content, right, a lot of it goes the same way, right, and that's why I do enjoy what we do here at Run Pure Sports is we try and get different. Tyler, I was on the playback with Titletown Big T last night. I mean, if you guys want, a half hour of Matisse Tybalt conversation, you need to be tuning in to the Run Pure Sports playback. I saw you in the chat, though. How are things with you, Tyler?
Well, that's pretty good. How about those Pacers, though? We took them +9, and we even talked about the money line. And they got
the +300.
So they got that done. We had a good day on tags in the end, so we had a winning day. And I think we're going to find a lot of tags today.
Can I just tell the chat, every day in the chat, I need you guys to tell me to listen to Tyler. So I gave out on the playbook yesterday. I said, we have like a 10-point edge to the over in this Bulls-Raptors. And Tyler goes, I don't like that matchup. It's going to be like 105-98. The final score was 104-98, Tyler. Why didn't I listen? Every day, guys.
You told me we had a 10-point edge, and I was like, eh.
I mean, yeah, that was
just like you're going to tell me that same thing again tonight. I'm going to tell you no again.
And I'm going to listen today. I'm going to learn my freaking lesson. I'm putting in the for those who are members of Run Pure, I'm putting in the projections right now. Tyler and I are going to do the tags after the show. I'm trying to think of what other takeaways I had from last night.
I'm gonna say one thing, Spread. That Russell Westbrook triple-double, I'm going to keep betting it until he gets it. He's getting closer and closer. The moment he gets aggressive on the boards, he's going to get there. He's getting the points and the assists. He just won't get in there and get the rebounds. He finished with 8 last night, so he was getting closer, but you just seen him on the boards. He just wasn't as aggressive as he used to be.
Well, yeah, and he doesn't have like Carmelo Anthony like ordering him to get all those rebounds like he did. It was just like, all right. So let's talk about Westbrook. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. 2 big name point guards joined their new teams, have not had success. Clippers, I think, I guess both, because both are 2 teams that we have really high expectations for. Start with you, Tyler. What do you think of, basically the failure to integrate these new players right off the bat? And we talked about cashing that Pacers win. We were really happy about it. But, if you're a Mavericks fan, if you're glaucoma, you have to be worried that this new pairing is not bearing you any fruit. Did you have any takeaways from either the Clippers game or watching Kyrie fall to the Pacers?
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie worries me a little bit more because they made that as a move. Is like, yeah, we'll get our team into the championship contention here with the other Western Conference teams. And the more you looked at it, the more I looked at it, there's still only one ball. People tell me Kyrie can play off ball and this and that, but he hasn't done it since he was next to LeBron, and it just doesn't work the same anymore. You said it in the LA game. He was standing in the corner, didn't want to do anything. So I don't think that matchup.
Some pictures of Kyrie in that Cleveland uniform. I mean, the kid looks young there.
Yeah.
He's aged a lot since then.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's the same guy. He can't play off ball like he used to, and then you can't take the ball out of Luka's hands. So they're just playing that same ball Atlanta's kind of playing where it's like, all right, Trae Young, your turn. All right, DeJounte, your turn. That's pretty much what Dallas is now. It's just, all right, Luka, go do your thing. And then when you hit a little rut, we'll just give the ball to Kyrie, and he could try and do his thing. So I don't think it's going to get him very far in the end. I think he walks in the summer.
Yeah, well, everyone's talking about that. They didn't give up too much. 1 first-round pick. Like Dorian Finney-Smith, like I know he's cool, but those guys are replaceable. I think it was worth the risk. I think if it doesn't work, the real mistake would be to give him the huge contract. Chris, your thoughts here on the Clippers and the Mavericks, 2 teams that we thought were going to be making a push for the playoffs that are struggling coming out of the All-Star break?
Well, the Irving situation, it's difficult, right? You got a ball handler, you got a guy like that likes to create. And same thing with Luka, it's so you're trying to put these 2 pieces together. I mean, to be honest with you, if there was an ego involved, you could have Kyrie come off the bench, and it would just be a disaster to other teams opposing second units. You put him and Wood off the bench. I think that's more of an optimal approach, and let Luka run the first offense. That would be a great technique. But then you have the ego. You have is he willing to do that? Obviously, he's not a bench player by any means. He's one of the most talented point guards in the league. But it's hard to have those 2 guys on the floor together, especially starting off the game. It's just like, how do you make this work, right? 2 alpha guys as well. So I'm sure they'll try to figure it out. I mean, I know J Kidd's smart, so what they do, it should be very interesting moving forward. But right now, it's not the answer. And also, too, Wood is just way too talented to not get so much extended run. They got to figure out how they got to utilize him more, especially maybe in the first offense as well. Like I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. The Westbrook.
To be fair, J Kidd had to take like the SATs like 6 times before he got into Cal. But I'm just old and I remember that.
Yeah, well, it was different back then. It was different back then,
No, I know. And there's a difference between knowing basketball and just, being able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we could all agree he has great IQ.
Especially for basketball. And I think it's going to go well. That Christian Wood deal, I wonder if that's going to cause friction between the front office because he does not like him in there. And I can see why. I mean, the defense is just terrible. I mean, the guy can't protect the rim for anything. I think that's going to be the rough spot there. So we'll see how they work it out. I mean, I guess no one really expected this much from Russ, but I'd say overall, the Clippers have to be a disappointment. I mean, what did you see from the Clippers, Chris? What do you think's going on there?
No, they should have got Mike Conley instead of Westbrook. That's what they should have done. A guy who could just manage, who can facilitate, and just bring the ball up the court. It's different. Westbrook is a different type of speed and energy that he brings to the game, and it messes up kind of the synergy between what Paul and Leonard do. Paul could easily be the ball handler that brings up the ball up the court for sure, but Westbrook's got to come off the bench, bro. Like he can't. They can't have those guys all in the starting rotation because then they can't really run the offense. You got to have Kawhi off the ISO plays. You have PG off the pick and rolls, and also just he's a ball handler too, so he can create and facilitate. I don't know, man. Like I don't agree with obviously we're not front office guys, but I mean, we do watch the game, we play fantasy, like, we have some intellectual level in regards to the game. Maybe they see shit that we don't see, but I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like the Westbrook thing just doesn't make sense in my opinion. I'd rather have Terrence Mann. He was playing good.
Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, and this is where we're looking at it from a perspective where we don't have to manage these personalities. When you're the front office guy and Paul George and Kawhi are like telling you to do this, I think that's
You think they told him to get Westbrook?
I know George lobbied for him for sure.
I mean, we could find out, bro. Like I have
Paul George 100% lobby for him. Like there was
call up one of those Clipper girls you hook up with.
The
Clippers dancers, right? She can give you the info.
Me and Kawhi are partners on an investment.
Really?
So swear to God.
So you've talked to him before?
Kawhi and Kawhi's best friend here is one of my best friends. Okay. So we all got together with this espresso martini.
How many words did he say in the time you were together?
Like 6.
Bro, he's normal, bro.
So is he like not quiet when you're hanging out
No,
like with no camera?
Listen, I don't know him like my best friend, one of my best friends knows him. He said that like, you know, when they go to trips to like Napa, to Vegas, like Kawhi is just a really fun, you know, interactive guy. He likes to be private, bro. Like he likes to be private. You just got to
want to hear how much more chalkier the Lakers got tonight, Cito?
Yeah, let me hear.
AD's out.
Yeah, see, that's bro. I'm staying.
Are they just waving the white flag?
Yeah. I think they might.
I don't understand. Like, all right, hold on.
All right, the people says Russ gets the blame on every team now. What are we supposed to do? Give him credit for losing all the time?
No, he's not the blame. It's the situation that he gets put in that's the blame. There's a difference between you put someone in an environment where they can thrive, or you put someone in an environment where you don't know really what's going to happen and you don't know how this is going to work. Those are two totally different things. I like Russ. I think Russ is a great player. He would fare well on certain teams.
Where?
In the like are we going to talk playoff team?
Yeah.
Does he have to? Can he come off the bench?
Yes.
Yeah. Toronto.
Miami.
Toronto for sure. He'd be a great fit for Toronto.
He'd be argue with that. That's a good point.
He'd be a great. He would be a great play in Brooklyn.
I think he'd be a solid second unit guy for Cleveland.
Solid second guy for Cleveland. Absolutely.
All right, I stand corrected. You guys are correct there.
Even Memphis. Even Memphis.
Well, they have that kid. What's his name?
Tyus Jones. That's
Tyus Jones is good.
Tyus Jones, yeah, I'm taking Tyus Jones over Russ. If you guys had to
you guys named three teams though that I stand corrected. I would agree. Miami, Cleveland, and Toronto.
And Portland. He could come off and back up Dame and play 18, 20 minutes, and he would be a great fit in Portland as well. The thing is you need him on a second unit where he can be the alpha male, where there's not too many shooters, and where they need production to come from somewhere. And there's a lot of teams that lack depth in the second unit, where they have alpha males on the first unit, but they're just completely depleted in the second unit. So that's where he needs to go and fit. To be honest with you, when you have a two superstar guy, they can easily have Kawhi on the floor and Paul G on the floor at different rotations. That's what a lot of these teams do now. They let one guy play for 6-7 minutes. They sub him out. They let PG play the rest of the quarter. Then they bring in Kawhi. That works, bro. You still have a dominant superstar. You can't. It just doesn't work with Westbrook like that. You can't have multiple top 5, top 10 guys. I would say PG's what, top 10, top 15 player?
Top 15.
I don't think anymore. I think he's like top 25 now.
Well, Kawhi's a top 5 player in my opinion. Or not right now, maybe top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah, he's top 10.
Top 10 because he's not the same that he was.
He's not on that like Giannis level right now or KD level.
No. And honestly, there's a lot of guys that are playing at way.
Yeah, when you say top 5 anymore, it's like, well, 3 of those spots are already locked into Tatum or not Tatum, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, and it's like, all right, now you got 2 spots for the guys like
Tatum's playing better right now.
Durant,
Steph's
LeBron,
better.
Steph.
Yeah.
All right, I stand corrected there. You guys are all right about that. So we'll quit the Russ slander for now. But Travis Mangone will be here on Friday on the NBA Rundown if you did not get your fill of Russ slander there. Tyler, just to check in, did you see on the playback when they were talking about your Carmelo take?
No, I didn't see it. I got off on there.
Yeah, JSU and Big T were not happy about that. So we're going to ask Chris real quick, and then we're going to dive into tonight's game. Who do you think is better? Prime Melo or current Tatum?
Prime Melo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear why. You're not worried about the fact that he's just a turnstile on defense. And Tatum gets stops. Like Tatum's giving KD
I think it's because we've seen so much. We have so much historical data with Carmelo over that period of time that it's still kind of like new to us with Tatum. I think that's the only difference. You know?
Well, see, I guess it's a good conversation then. Mikey actually did something positive for the show for once, Tyler. Unbelievable. Yeah, JSU and Big T we're not agreeing with you, especially JSU. Josh is with you too. Okay,
me and JSU, we talked about it the first night we were on playback before you got on.
JSU was on there before I got on?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's ducking me. Then he's claimed his internet was out last night. Unbelievable.
You also got to remember Carmelo is my favorite player, so I got the bias in there too. So
That's so crazy. Carmelo's your
Who's a better
favorite player.
3-point shooter in his prime, Tatum or Melo?
Tatum, because they didn't shoot threes back then.
Melo shot threes,
but not like they do now. Like if they played, if Carmelo played in today's game, you could add like 5 points to his.
That's another argument where like you guys all threw the stat line at me like, oh well, he averaged this to Tatum's this.
Yeah, but like the totals were like 20 points lower back then.
Averages come all the way up.
Yeah, because the totals were like 215 and now they're all 230, right? Yeah, I give you that one.
My man was feast at the free throw line too, because he'd bulldoze his way into the paint.
Yeah.
Where Tatum imagine Tatum flailing around in the early 2000s spread.
What do you mean? He'd be fine.
All
right.
All right. Who's a better 3-point shooter? Peja Stojakovic spread or Tatum?
I'd say that's even.
Were you a Peja guy?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That was like such an awesome draft pick for us. Yeah. Imagine if he played today. I mean, he would get like 10 to 12 attempts per night.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Anything else that we want to ruminate on general basketball?
No, I think the first game is going to give us that.
No. But I think the Knicks have a legitimate shot to come out of the East.
That's all I take. That's a real hot
take. Your thoughts, Chris. Take it away. We got to hear this one.
Yeah, bro. I think the addition of Josh Hart brings a huge defensive element to the rotation where he can take on, one of those wings, like a Tatum, like a Brown. The East is not relatively strong outside of a couple teams, in my opinion, so it's wide open. You got a great point guard that can also score. Randall's just a monster down low. Don't forget, too, you have this defensive mindset with this team, and you got shooters. And also, too, the thing that's underrated with them is they have some great depth, right? Like Quickly off the bench is great. Grimes off the bench is great. Whether it's Mitch Robb or Hartenstein, like these are solid NBA guys that can give you solid 15, 20 minutes down low. Also, too, there's things going on right now that, there's a couple guys that are superstars in the East that they're brittle right now. Like they're prone to like something happening to them. And that's not the case with New York. Like they're very healthy. They're playing great ball. I don't know, man. Like that's the thing is, you got to go like on a week-to-week basis right now. And their form is great together as a team. The synergy's there. Like I think there's upside there. I think there's upside in betting the Knicks just to like as a lottery play, like to make it to the finals. I don't mind it. Like
I just can't see them getting through Milwaukee.
Yeah, I don't think they beat any of the top
three. Can they even beat Philadelphia, Tyler?
I don't think they beat the Cavs. I don't even think they get to the top three.
They're going to beat the. I think they'll beat the Cavs in the first round.
I don't think they would. I think just that combo of Mitchell, Garland, and then they have the defensive guys to slow down Randall. That's game over right there.
I do like Cleveland though too, though. I do like Cleveland and New York out of Milwaukee in that division or in that conference.
All right. On that note, let's dive right in. Tyler, we'll wait one game. Let's get this one out of the way first. Chicago Bulls are -6. They're in Detroit taking on the Pistons. The Pistons have lost to the Bulls 13 times in a row. I mean, the Bulls have just had the Pistons number. James Wiseman, right? Getting our guy, Coach Goodman. He's getting to take some victory lap. Wiseman scored 23 and 7. I expect another big night from him tonight, but I don't think it'll be enough for them to get the win. So I'm not interested in that plus 185. But should I be looking at that +6, Tyler? Your thoughts on the Bulls and the Pistons?
No chance I'm taking the +6. If anything, I'd be on the Bulls here on the side.
Really?
But I think I'm coming in on the under. You look at the trends in this game for the under. Mm-hmm. 9 of the last 10 Bulls games have went under. 9 of the last 12 Pistons games have went under. 5 of their last 6 home games, and 8 of the last 10 times these teams have played have went under. And 6 straight times that they've played in Detroit have went under. You look at some of these other stats. Over the last 10 games, the Bulls ranked 30th in points per game. That's 105 to the Pistons 107. That puts them at 28th. Their Bulls are only giving up 102 points per game. Their shooting percentages, they're holding opponents. Chicago ranks 2nd. Detroit ranks 9th. These two teams this is going to be another under spread. So
I'm going to do what I said at the top of the show because you saw the projections, right? I threw them up there.
Yeah, that's why I told you already. We're not doing this again. We are going under.
Are we betting it, or are we just?
I'm not letting you take it over, and we're going to watch one of these teams come in the 90s.
Are we RPB tagging it?
Yes.
Tyler? All right, there you guys go. There's a little free nugget for you guys. Of course, runpuresports.com is where you go to take advantage of using the NBA playbook. Of course, become a member. Use the promo code either spread15, Tyler15, or if you're into the guns and you want to hang with Kawhi Leonard, you can use that promo code Randone15. Doesn't matter which code you use. I
also like this play from We the People too. That Vooch double and win. He should feast on the inside.
Is he second highest in the NBA in rebounds right behind Sabonis? He's averaging like 11.7.
And then the other props I like are Levine's here. DeRozan had his revenge game against Toronto last night. Okay. And shooting guards are smashing this Detroit team over the last 30 days. They're averaging 26 points and 4 threes. So this could be a spot Levine puts up a nice number.
Chris, I want some James Wiseman in DFS. Am I crazy?
Interesting spot. You're looking at it like a 16, rating right now out of 30 teams for DVP right now for Wiseman. Vucevic would be the better play.
However, you think so?
However, though, since Wiseman has entered the rotation and started, they've been very good defensively down low, believe it or not. Just more of like a presence, and centers haven't thrived as much as maybe they were in the beginning of the year. But I mean, it's Vucevic, and a double-double can easily happen, especially against Detroit. So, small sample size, can't really take that. But Wiseman, I mean, he's 4,800 now. However, though, man, I mean, if he's going to play 30-plus minutes, it's definitely something to consider. Chicago has struggled against big men this year, on and off. Absolutely. So you can definitely go there. I do like the fact that he's dual eligible too. So don't mind it. He's not as chalky as maybe a lot of these Lakers guys that they're going to be. But this game does have pieces that people want, right? They want, how do you say it? Hamidou Diallo. He's 4,600, dual eligible. Typically, like Casey was only playing him 20 minutes. He did get the extra bump last game, especially when Livers went out in the first quarter with that ankle injury. So, whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench tonight, we're looking at maybe, projected for 25 minutes. I think that's pretty solid. Definitely someone that, can contribute on both ends of the ball, defensively and offensively. Burks will be owned. He's 4,300. I
want to play Burks, man. They're not trying to win.
Yeah, but I mean,
they're doing well. Burks won't get the run.
These guys are back too. Ivy's back, and so is Bogdanovich. Does that worry you at all?
Hayes is in a really bad spot here. I would avoid him. He's 5,300. But I mean, you're looking at one of the best teams that guard defensively against point guards. He really does not match up well here whatsoever. You can easily avoid him at all costs.
And he's Killian Hayes, so that's an easy way to get off him too, right, Tyler?
Absolutely. So when you look at Alec Burks here, believe it or not, I mean, it does fare well, as far as like a ADVP matchup. And also too, you're only relying on raw scoring, I think, primarily with Burks. So I would probably say no to that too. You can easily cut off him, but Jaden Ivey's getting, also looked at. So a lot of these Detroit guys seem to be pieces of lower pivots, but still chalky. So I
just don't want to play any veterans on these tanking teams.
No, I think the guys you want to go to, I don't mind Diallo. I don't mind Wiseman from the
right, because they'll get minutes no matter what.
Yeah. And I mean, but these rotations are weird, with how Casey does it. So I think they're trying to showcase and really like figure out what Wiseman is. And I think that's what this project is over these last couple of weeks, is seeing what he can do, what he's capable of. From what I hear from Golden State is that they shipped him because he was too slow and that he just couldn't get it. Like, this is from like people that are like
here because he looks fast on the court.
Correct. Like he was just not understanding a lot of things. So maybe it's the environment. Maybe this is a situation now where he can thrive. And then, your guy Vooch, under 5% ownership, great projection for his price point. Don't mind it whatsoever. So those are the guys that I would look at. Everyone else you could probably shy away from. They don't grade well.
Tyler, a game with most of the eyes on it tonight will involve the Charlotte Hornets. That's kind of weird. Been years since that's happened. But it's true. The Charlotte Hornets are +10 at home against the Phoenix Suns, the debut of Kevin Durant for his new team. The totals 229. I mean, throw projections out the window on this one, right? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely got to throw projections out the window because you look at it on both sides. You got KD coming in. When you look at the Suns' offense, they rank 20th in offensive rating, but they're putting up a 7th-ranked defensive rating in that span. So their defense is playing good. You got to expect their offense to get a boost. Then you look on the other side of the ball. LaMelo fractured his ankle last game. This team is not going to look the same as they did the last 5 games that they've won straight. I think we're getting a bit of a discount with them winning those games. I feel like his spread should be 13 or 14.
No.
They have absolutely smashed this Hornets team the last 3 times they've played them. They beat them by 31 twice and 34 once.
Okay.
They're going to kill them in the paint. Ayton's going to be able to feast there. CP3, like our guy We the People says, he's just going to dish the ball and get a ton of assists here. They're going to be able to work the mid-range, and with how bad the Hornets are inside the paint, that's just going to open
Mark
up more.
Williams is playing well.
That was also off the pick and rolls with LaMelo. Now, how does he fare when he's got to catch the ball and make his own shots?
I'm just talking about defensively.
Yeah, so and plus DSJ coming in for LaMelo, like CP3
will be more Scary Terry, right?
Scary Terry's got to be on Devin Booker.
Oh, that's terrible.
Look at the way this lineup's going to set up tonight. It's going to be
no. We got to get some Kelly Oubre on Devin Booker.
He's probably got to be the guy that covers KD.
Oh, F me. All right, you might be right.
I'm
listening to Tyler today. I'm listening to Tyler.
This is blowout central in my eyes. I like the CP3 assist as the only prop outside of maybe a shot on KD's because I think they try and ramp him up quick, get him up into.
But he's not going to play more than 25 minutes tonight.
Yeah, but I just think
especially if the game goes by your script and they're winning by 15, he's not going to see more than 25 minutes.
Yeah, I just see that's my only prop is the CP3 assist and maybe some Durant's, just because I know Ayton's going to feast in the paint, maybe his rebounds, but I think the shots tick back a bit here. I don't want to get involved on his points, knowing he's going to get less shots, and same thing with Booker. So give me the Suns here to win. I think they smash. I wouldn't even mind taking an alt spread up to about 15. I think they put it on him here.
What are your thoughts on this game and the debut of Kevin Durant, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, first thoughts is Terry Rozier chalk night. That could be scary,
yeah, more ways than one, right?
Yeah, more ways than one. And so, he's 7,200 on DK, he's 8,200 on FanDuel. But this is not really a good spot for these guards, him or Dennis Smith. I mean, it's like Tyler said, Suns have been playing some pretty good defense, especially against the guard positions. And so, 7,200 is pricey. Like he's going to have to really get there. You're looking at, 45, 50 to get that like over expectation situation. You got a high projection. I get it. But, typically I got to like focus on like the mistakes I made last night and knowing that maybe some plays are just not good in specific situations. And this can be one of them. Could also be a blowout too. So that might give, more run to a guy named Bryce McGowan's, right? A guy who they just, picked up and extended his contract. And he got like a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. He's min priced $3K. But if this is a blowout, I could see them giving him a little bit more run as well. So that kind of scares me. Dennis Smith is 5,100, projected for 10% ownership right now. Once again, point guard situation is it's not good. You got a top 5, top 6 team right now guarding against that point guard position right now for the Suns. His player efficiency rating is one of the lowest on the slate tonight. That's kind of scary, especially when you need a point guard. I think tonight with point guard, you're going to want to look at like Ja Morant, Drew Holiday, guys that also, have some high Vegas implied odds like Damian Lillard, Brunson, even maybe a little bit of Alex Caruso. So, if you don't want to go D Smith, I mean, Alex Caruso could be a cheap pivot that could potentially pay off. He's in a way better situation in that Detroit game. So on the Phoenix side of the ball, I don't have love anywhere. We got to know what this looks like now with Durant, how they work, what the rotation looks like, how the ball usage is, especially when you got a guy like Booker on the team as well. So it's a no-go for me from the Suns side. It just doesn't make sense. And then Mark Williams is 6,300 now. And obviously, he was that play over the last few weeks. Going against Ayton now, very good defensively down low. One of the top 7, DVPs for the center position for Phoenix. Doesn't really match up well for him. Also, too, if you watch Charlotte, they really do like Nick Richards. since Plumlee has been gone. They've been giving him a lot of run as well. So, you got Mark Williams. He plays to like the 5-minute mark, maybe 4-minute mark. Richards comes in. He plays all the way to like the 7-minute mark in the second quarter. They split time. And for me, the price discrepancy is big between the two. So if you wanted to like get cute, you can maybe go like Nick Richards if you think that there's like an advantage there. But outside of that, it's a no-go for me.
All right. And I think that's fair. Someone might try and take a chance with the idea that the ownership's going to be really low there. But I think you're right. I'd be surprised to see some Suns on the winning lineup tonight. Let's talk about
listed at 21.5 points and 1.5 threes.
I would take the threes, but not the points.
I probably would take the points because I just think he's going to feast in the mid-range. The pick and roll is just going to be all over the place tonight for the Suns. Mark Williams is going to be in hell. Nick Richards is going to be in hell.
I'm not liking this Mark Williams slander. Mark Williams is my guy, dude. I took him over 9.5 rebounds, by the way.
Yeah, I took him. I took him a couple nights ago, 9.5 rebounds. I think he's a great player too. But now
we're just betting rebounds here. They can get rebounds.
The guy who ran the offense, spread that's going to shut a lot of stuff down. He's not a guy that creates for himself, so I just don't like the matchup. And CP3 and the Suns' offense is just going to pick and roll him to death.
Matchup doesn't really matter for rebounding totals, though, does it? The ball comes off the rim, the tallest guy grabs it. These guys run 5 back on. There's so many uncontested defensive rebounds.
He's probably blowout proof too at this point. But
he has to because they're trying to get
another prop I don't mind taking a look at here is like when you look at FanDuel, these assists where you can jump them up a little bit. Just taking all of CP3s and just maxing them out. 10 plus is plus 125. 12 plus is plus 340. 14 plus is 8-1. He could easily get 14 here if this just turns into one of those games where they're just running around, getting any bucket they want, and they're just passing it around. So he's going to be the guy assisting on all of these.
I will say Durant is, Tyler's not wrong, dude. Like this is out of all like the bigs tonight or like the wings, the stretch fours, Durant is in like one of the best situations. Like he could easily exceed that 21 point. I mean, on a DVP, average DVP for this position, Hornets tonight, they're giving up the most fantasy points to this position. And on top of that, he brings the highest net DK value that Charlotte gives up against it. Once again, Durant, he pops up the highest right now. I'm looking right at it. So,
what's his price tag though?
His price tag is 10.7 on.
You can't pay 10.7 for a guy who's not going to get 30 minutes.
He's 9,900 on FanDuel, though. I think you could go there on FanDuel if you wanted to.
I mean, just look at the guys that are going to be trying to guard him tonight. It's going to be Gordon Hayward and JT Thor.
Yeah,
they don't stand a damn chance.
You don't think Chris Hemsworth can do it?
No.
I mean, spread. They're projected for almost 120 team points, and tonight his projected player efficiency is one of the highest rated tonight amongst everyone, and that's Embiid, Davis, Mobley, Adebayo, like everyone in here. So yeah, it's tough to like go against the grain when you see.
Just look what your two favorite bigs did against them on Monday, Wiseman and Bagley, and Durant's going to be.
They're my two favorite now. Yeah. I got one favorite out of there.
Your two favorite bigs, Wiseman and Bagley, just ate them up. I know we're talking, he's going to play a minutes restriction. Even in that minutes restriction, this dude could hang 30.
Spread. I'll make a bet with you on Mark
Williams here. What's up?
I'll make a bet with you on Mark Williams.
What do you want to bet?
I bet he goes under 10 boards.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to bet? I don't know. Do something like funny or spicy.
All right. Think about it during the show. We'll take suggestions from the chat as well.
All right.
Okay. Anything more on this game? My final thoughts here is I'm big on Mark Williams. So on this, Matty, Ayton's going to crush. Hey, maybe I'm wrong, right? I drink the Kool-Aid on these bigs way too early. But I think he's been doing well defensively. I'm not high on Ayton tonight. And I wonder, I mean, if anyone can do it, it's KD. But are we overestimating his ability to just fit in seamlessly right off the bat? Maybe we are. Maybe we aren't. Tyler, actually, no, we got to go to Chris first on this one. As your Eastern Conference favorites, the New York Knicks are minus 7.5 taking on the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets were a fun story for about 2 games. Now they're kind of being the team, right? I got to listen to Tyler. They're the team that Tyler said they were going to be. Just a bunch of wings out there playing good defense, and they can't score the ball. Knicks are laying 7.5. The Knicks have won, 6 in a row? They beat Boston. That was a good win for the team. They beat Boston twice in a row now. So, hey, that's another one that you left out there, Chris, that, they've had success against the Eastern Conference's best team. But they're laying 7.5 tonight in a game with a total of 223.5. Talk to me. Do your Knicks make a statement tonight against their crosstown rivals?
Yeah, I think New York wins, obviously. They're not my favorite, by the way. Like I said.
I know. We're hamming this up for content, right? I mean, like.
No. It's
with the implied price, right? It's like you're getting plus 1,600 for them, or you're going to get what, plus 200 for the Celtics? I understand.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I think they could be a sneaky team, like on a 7-game series. But tonight, like DFS wise, I don't know if this is like an area I want to go. I mean, as you guys know, these new additions like Finney Smith and Mikal Bridges and even Cam Johnson, like they all bring pretty good defensiveness to this team, right? Not an offensive team, but defensively, like, they have some areas where they can really make it difficult for the opposing opposition to score. So I do like Dinwiddie tonight, though, like for a little bit of like a, potential GDP play. He's 7,100. And also, too, it's a really good spot, for him. But like, other than that, Claxton, I think people are going to go to. He's 6,400. He's got a good projection. But I think that you got to always, like, if you're doing multiple lineups, Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, like they got to be considered for GBP plays, especially, given Randle and Brunson, how many minutes they play. A lot of offense runs through them, so I don't mind them whatsoever. But outside of that, man, like, to be honest with you, from like a DFS perspective, it doesn't like scream, I want to play a ton of guys from this game. So maybe a little sprinkle, but nothing much, to be honest with you. There's nothing there that gives me the ability to say that.
The injury report's too clean from a DFS perspective. Tyler, your Knickerbockers, do they cover the 7.5 point spread?
I think they do. I think they smash Brooklyn. I mean, you just look at this series, this matchup. The Nets have dominated when you look back on the last 10. They won 9 of those 10 games.
It's a completely different team.
Yeah, they've played a 1 game since that trade, and the Knicks blew them out 124-106. I think you see similar here. The Nets were able to hang with the Bucks last night, but we all know the Bucks give up a ton of threes in the way they play defense. They were able to hang in there for a little bit in the fourth quarter. The Bucks pulled away. I think that just tired out some of these Brooklyn guys. I still think you could see some of them pop on the injury report, and I don't think they're going to be able to score on these Knicks. Really, we talked about Josh Hart earlier. I think he's going to go to a guy like Mikal Bridges and slow his offense down. And guys like Cam Johnson and that are going to have a tough time covering Randle on the other end. So I think that's going to affect their offensive game a bit. I'm taking the Knicks here. I don't mind that double-double and win that our guy We the People talks about. I know with Robinson in there, it can be a little scary, but I'm not as worried about that. I think he'll be busy with Claxton. And don't even mind the Randle 26-plus points and win at plus 136. Those would be my 2. And then maybe even a Brunson because Brunson's been playing out of his mind.
Bro, we have some good games tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 5 in Boston, taking on the Celtics. Totals 219.5. We'll go right back to you, Tyler, for this one. Hey, 2 teams that we really like in the East. They're facing off. Cavaliers get a chance to make a statement.
Yeah, pulling up the injury report now. I just want to make sure. Okay, Jaylen Brown's back in. I mean, I got to take Boston here. They have the wings, and when you look at this matchup, it's like Cleveland probably has a slight advantage at the guard spot offensively with Garland and Mitchell. But the defense that Boston's going to bring is going to limit those guys. They matched them with the 2 bigs in Horford and Williams, and they have the clear advantage on the wings with Tatum and Brown. So I think those 2 guys smash in this spot, especially Brown because he's probably going to get matched up with like a Mitchell, and he could shoot right over him. So give me Boston here at home. I think they come in and they smash this Cleveland team right here.
My projections agree with you. Chris, what are your thoughts here on the Celtics and the Cavs?
Oh, well, your Cavs, bro. You said they're going to, win the East. So
I said they beat the Knicks.
I don't know, bro. You're a big Cavs. I like the Cavs, though. I do like the Cavs. But this game, like, doesn't really scream fantasy, nor does it, like, make you want to go there. Although I will say, like, these freaking guards for Cleveland, they can go off at any time, bro. Like they just have Mitchell has the ability to put up a 50-point game easily. Darius, if he gets hot and he's distributing and he's hitting those threes, I mean, the minutes are there for these guys. So I don't mind it whatsoever. This game could be sneaky actually though, because you do have pieces that there is tremendous upside there. I think with Brown potentially back now, I would take a step back from Tatum. at 10-6. His projection just doesn't warrant the price point. But I mean, as a one-off, like I think you could easily go to this game. I don't mind it whatsoever. Mitchell, it's like borderline, like, mid-level as far as like DVP for him tonight and what Boston does as far as giving up to the guard position. Same thing as well for Garland. So Garland probably would have fare a little bit better. But I mean, you can easily stay away from Marcus Smart, I think. Derek White, I don't think I would go there either. Jared Allen, I think, might get a little bit of love, but I mean, with Rob Williams, it's going to be difficult to like see potential big upside there. So I think for me, not much screams, but I don't mind the one-off play. I don't mind the one-off play of Jaylen Brown or D Mitch or Garland. I think that can be interesting if you're playing multiple lineups. But outside of that, I mean, this is not like the game that screams another one.
Yeah, total's only 219.5. The next game, lowest total on the board. Philadelphia 76ers. They play the Miami Heat. The total's 214.5 in this one. Tyler, the Heat are -1. Talk to me. I don't know what to make of the Heat. I don't trust my projections. I don't even trust my eye test when I watch this team. What do you make of the Heat, Tyler?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to Philly here if I had to bet this one, but with 10 games, probably staying away.
And we don't bet Sixers games anyways, do we?
Yeah, that's the thing. We got to say we try to bet it on the playback, and then we're shooting threes for the game winner against Miami on Monday night. So It's a rematch, but two things that stuck out to me. Miami's ranked 29th in the league ATS record-wise at 9-20-3 after a win. And in home games this year, they're dead last ATS at 8-19-2. So this is a spot that lines up for Philly to bounce back and win. But Embiid popped up questionable about 10 minutes ago on the injury report too. So you can't do anything with this game.
Bro, if they sit him, that would suck because I want to see this game. I want to see the rematch.
Yeah, if he's in, though, I lean towards Philly coming out and picking up the win this time. But if he's out, Miami probably wins. Just for now, a stay away, though.
That's interesting. Yeah, I might be with Saucebox here. I don't think I'll get involved, but since we talk about every game here on the NBA right now, brought to you by RenPureSports.com, give us that thumbs up. I do agree. I think this is a good matchup for the Heat. Chris, if Embiid sits, that just changes the whole slate, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't know if he gets too crazy, but I know Harden will get an extreme bump. Right now, Embiid's the only guy that's really garnering projected ownership here. Everyone else is like non-existent, like not even 1%. So yeah, that could definitely change. It's a difficult game, right? Both two teams slow defensively. The other night, Butler went off in this situation, but when you looked at the data and metrics, like it just wasn't a good spot for him. So, that tonight it's the same thing. And I mean, obviously that's on the back of my mind, kind of, his recent performance. But outside of that, though, I mean, you got to remember too, both of these teams, it's coming down now to playoffs and seeding and stuff like that. So you're going to probably see these guys that are starters that are, stars in this game. They're going to have probably a few extra minutes on the game if it's competitive on the floor. So you can eliminate like those ancillary guys that come off the bench and stuff like that. But I can't pay that price tag for Hero and Bam. And they just don't have good projections tonight. So it doesn't make sense from a DFS perspective. But on the contrary, tonight's a larger slate than it was the other night when it was a 4-gamer. So, it made more reason to maybe go to a Butler in that situation. Tonight, not necessarily the case because there's way more people in the player pool. So, but from a betting perspective, obviously if Embiid sits, it changed drastically. I would probably go Philly here in a bounce back, 100%. But outside of that, I have no interest.
Bro, I'm not letting this comment just slip right down the chat. This is unbelievable. Damn,
is that true? That's kind of lit.
That's like a notch. Wow.
By the way, speaking of that, if Shark Killer G really did bang Maxie's mom a few years back, you got to give a like for that. We got to give likes for that.
You got to give us thumbs up.
Like
man.
That guy's a legend. Like
this is the top chat in the industry right here.
Yeah, like if this is true and that statement's true, if you're watching this right now, give a like for that guy because that's not easy. That's not an easy task. So shout out to him. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to even bring him on the show and get a little more interview in depth on how that happened. All right. Well,
Spread, you hooked up with LeBron's mom, right? Like you and Delonte West together, or is that?
And then I told Delonte not to try that shit. It was terrible. He
I
won't
could have
listen to me.
sworn back in like 2011, when I just felt like that was a big moment.
That's why me and him still kind of have beef. LeBron's not happy about that. I haven't been to a Taco Tuesday since.
Get your boy spread.
All right. On that note, the Memphis Grizzlies -9.5 against the Houston Rockets. The total is 230.5. Tyler, we like Şengün, we like Jalen Green, but this team sucks.
This team is
sucks.
terrible.
They suck.
Burn it down and leave them in there and just burn the whole thing down. We like them, but I mean,
and Harden wants to go back there.
There's no way. I don't buy any of that.
Bro, I heard he wants to go back just because they don't care if he goes to strip clubs every night.
Well, that might be true. Yeah, you can just go back and do whatever.
Can you imagine you're in Vegas every weekend and in Houston strip clubs, and then you're in Philadelphia?
The
strippers are like holding you up and shit.
God, just for the sake of his own career, that Victor does not end up a Rocket.
With
Like,
Harden?
Wembanyama. Like, let him go somewhere else. Like,
I hope he doesn't end up like Darko Milicic. I heard when he got drafted, he had never seen strip clubs before and spent like half his like salary there.
Is that true?
Darko?
Dude, I don't get it. Some guys have vices though. Like when Woods got caught, Tiger, and because he had that like sex addiction, he kind of went off the map a little bit in regards to production. If you look at Harden, when Harden's involved with like strippers and he's allowed to do what he does, he thrives. Like some guys just need, unfortunately, they need that poison. Yeah. Like that's just what it comes down to. So I guess the real question is what are your takes on strip clubs? I'm curious to hear your guys' take.
It's like a waste of money.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't mind them. It's like, don't.
I'll go. So like if we were all like, for example, at the Run Cheer party, right? If it's like a bunch of dudes going, it's hell.
I would not want to go.
It has to be a big group. What's up?
I've been to a strip club with Big T and Bobby Gomes and his brother. We went to 11 in Miami. Okay. Uh-huh. And then we all got COVID the next freaking day. And I was like, bro, this shit is not for me. Like, I'm going in and like these girls are vultures, bro. Like they see you with a cash, like a stack of cash.
They're after you.
And to be honest with you, like it gave me the ick. I'm like, bro, like this is not for me. I'm not a fan of strip clubs, bro. Like I'd rather like, go out on like a coffee shop or like a little night lounge or something and like meet a girl there rather than go to a strip club. Like I'm not paying.
All right. What's your take on bottle girls?
I've dated a couple bottle girls in the past.
That's the nuts right there, huh?
I mean, when I was younger, like in my 20s, like that was the nuts. Absolutely. Like, because you're not going to marry her, but you're going to have fun. She's super hot.
They're bad. Yeah.
They're bad. And then the best part is like when you
But they're stuck up too, so it's not like every single dude's been with them.
And when you have VIP and they're your bottle girl, you're going to get a little extra stuff, so you get, a little bit of a deal there too. Like you can't go wrong for you and the boys. So yeah. And they got hot friends. And what do your boys want? They want to hang out with hot girls. It's a no-brainer. So yes, absolutely. A bottle girl over a stripper any day of the week. 100%.
We're having a great chat today. We the People says, why go to a strip club? Just put women dancing on TV, throw the money at your TV, and then pick it back up.
That is not.
He's just got like 10 ones. He's just throwing them at the TV and picking them back up repeatedly and throwing them back at the TV screen.
Oh, bro, he might have something there.
You might as well you might as well get one of the virtual reality things, the Oculuses, and put it on your head and just do it that way.
Yeah, straight up, man. No, I just don't understand like the true meaning of going to a strip. I couldn't imagine being alone and going to a strip club and you're sitting there and you're just like, yo, real quick, funny story, real quick. I gotta tell you this. When we were 19, we were visiting USF, right? And so it was Gasparilla weekend, and we went to an infamous place called Mons Venus. It's like where all the players go. And we go there, and me and my boys, we go inside. It was like one of my first times ever going with the boys to like a strip club. And we're like making it rain. And my boy, like, he goes to throw up a stack like of like ones. And as he goes up, he hits the stripper bending down, picking up the cash in the jaw and knocks her out, bro. And all of a sudden, they're like fucking taking us and like trying to like beat us up, bro. Like it was crazy. It was an honest mistake. And so like that was the time when Jersey Shore was going out. So we looked like Pauly D and situation stuff. They're like, get these Jersey, F words out of here. Like, fuck you F boys, blah, blah, blah. So like we got kicked out of the strip club. And I'm like, bro, it was an accident, but it was scary. Like
I'll bet because those those guys aren't small, right? I mean,
bro, no, and that's not even that. It's the fact of like, it's like they're all family. Like something happens to one of them, they come out of nowhere, and everyone just starts attacking. And I'm
they just spend a lot of time
together. Come out of the rafters. They just like fall.
Bro, yeah, they come out of the rafters. Like they jump down like a WWE event. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Sting comes down with a baseball bat to get you out of there.
Absolutely.
All right. I mean, this is what happens. This is better than talking about the freaking Houston Rockets. Tyler, are we going to bet this game?
Yeah, we're taking Memphis spread. I mean, look at this injury report. Jalen Green's doubtful. Porter Jr.'s questionable. Tate's questionable. I know it means nothing really, but just less bodies for them to run around. Memphis is a bully. We seen what they did to the Lakers yesterday. They toyed around and still covered. They're going to do it again tonight, so give me Memphis.
All right.
And give me the guards here, too. I know Jaw just triple-doubled yesterday, but we've watched guards just absolutely house this Houston team. Now you're getting Morant and Bane in here. I don't mind taking both their props and both their performance doubles.
Chris, any interest in this game here, especially with that Rockets injury report?
I mean, Jaw's 9,900. He's 9,900 on DK. And
what's the idea? They just think it's going to be blowout run? And he's only going to get 35 minutes? Is he projecting lower on minutes?
I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, I will say at the end of the day, it's like Tyler said, guards have smashed this Houston team. Like they cannot play defense whatsoever. He could easily get there in 3 quarters, absolutely. But he's 9,900 and his projection is, 51 points. Like at that point, you have to consider him. And I think people will go to Tari Eason tonight. He's 4,100, but he has a really good projection. If you saw last night, he got an uptick a little bit in minutes, and he played great, in the second unit. And if it's a blowout run too, he's probably gonna get even more run. Small forward, power forward, dual eligible. I don't mind it. Desmond Bane, another combo guard here. He can easily exceed expectations tonight, so maybe you can consider him as well. But outside of that, I don't think I can go anyone on the Rockets side. I'm not going these power forwards, especially what we realized last night. Like defensively, you have Jaren Jackson Jr. there. You're not doing much against Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I'm just going to stay away. So yeah, I think John Morant in a great spot. Speaking of Jaren Jackson, did you see him absolutely posterize AD last night? Oh yeah, with that putback. Yeah, that was kind of nasty.
All right.
I see guys talking about Tyus Jones in the chat. It might not be a hot take for him, but like out of all the guards, backup guards in the NBA, he has to be the next guy that probably gets paid, right? Maybe not the Brunson money, but somebody's going to look at him and be like, he could be our starter. Let's pay him.
Did you see my backup last night? My guy Davion Mitchell making it rain. That jumper looks good. Man, he's trash, bro. I don't even want all year. Let me tell you something real quick. For some reason, the projections and the models were like bumping Terrence Davis beyond. I know. Trust me. Big team. I know. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, like does like Terrence Davis really have an opportunity here to smash? And I'm thinking, oh my God. I'm like, all right, well, people are going to go Davion Mitchell. And I'm thinking Davion Mitchell really has let me down quite a few times this year. First quarter, 3 threes. Tyler, the whole year he's hit 3 threes twice in a game. The whole game.
I looked at his threes building the parlay, and it was like 2+ was plus 175. I looked at his log.
The whole season.
I was like, nope, not touching this.
So, at the end of the day, he hits 3 threes in the first quarter. I'm like, here we go, man. Like, of course this happens. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you like him. I think maybe Ty Washington's better than Davion Mitchell, to be honest with you. I'm not a Davion Mitchell guy. Spread. We should have drafted Şengün. I'm still pissed about that. Oh, you have Sabonis. We didn't have Sabonis at the time. Yeah. We wouldn't need to trade for him. Hey, do you think Fox is better than Hallie? Right now. Yeah. He probably will end up being.
He's always going to be the better scorer. He's probably never going to be the better passer.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, Fox best clutch player in the league right now. I mean,
Fox is so fast. You give him the ball, he's gonna go get you a bucket. Like he's gonna run.
And he's hitting that mid range now too.
Yeah, he
So,
runs right past whoever's in front of him, and he can stop on a dime. So yeah, when he comes flying down the floor, and the big man's like, "Shit, he's coming at me 100 miles an hour," and he stops and he shoots. It's like there's nothing you can do about that. So
I still remember him
Halliburton's vision is just something else when it comes to passing the ball.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I still remember Fox crushing Lonzo. I took UCLA that year.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Dude, Fox fucking put it on him.
Halliburton went to Iowa State, right?
Yeah, he was Iowa State.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about your team, Chris. The Los Angeles Lakers plus 4.5, even with AD out against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's why this Thunder team's not trying to win. SGA still out with COVID, right? Seems like it's a game that will be interesting from a DFS perspective. Yet the Thunder have not been getting a lot of minutes, right? So I don't know if we can roster any of them. Lakers should be chalky. We'll start with you, Chris.
Lakers are going to win this game, 100%. No SGA.
How? Oh, okay. That's never mind. You're right.
No SGA. I think this is a bounce back game for Beasley. Schroeder's got a, even though he had a double last night, I think he plays better here.
He got benched last night. Did you see that?
Yeah, late in the game, right? Because it was the turnovers and offensive fouls or whatever.
No, he went to pass it to AD in the post, and he kind of threw it off to he missed AD, and there was a defender coming from behind, so that defender snatches the ball, goes the other way. Schroeder basically didn't move. He stood right where he was when he passed the ball, and they ran right past him and scored. Darvin Ham took him out of the game right there. He never came back.
Yeah. I think tonight, I mean, he's going to be so owned, but I think you go Austin Reeves here tonight as a pivot. People are still not going to him, especially after last night. He's dual eligible. He's 3,800, but he has a legitimate role in this rotation, and it only gets even more sexier with, these guys that are missing from the lineup. So I don't mind him as like a sneaky pivot, and maybe Mo Bamba as well. That could be interesting, even though last night Wenyen Gabriel got the extended run. And Gabriel actually played pretty decent off the bench. He was getting rebounds. He was scoring. I don't mind it. So I guess tonight what I'm trying to look at is like, it's just, they're so chalky. Can we get different, or are they going to actually exceed expectations, especially after last night? Like Vanderbilt should smash here, right? His athleticism down low against this team, he should smash here. Beasley should take even more shots now. Like the usage from AD has to go somewhere. And you would think like these are the guys. And then what is Rui going to start too? Like, are they going to run Vanderbilt and Rui together? Because, Oklahoma's not that big, with where they're at right now. So I could see maybe a little bit of a smaller situation with the Lakers. But yeah, I mean, you're going to have these pieces. You're going to have to figure out like which ones you want to run, how many you want to run. It just sucks though. Like Vanderbilt's projected 80% ownership right now. Beasley, 70%. Rui, 65%. Giddy, 30%. But Schroeder, almost 35%. Right there alone, you have four guys that are getting so much ownership. So if you want to just say, I'm going to fade the Lakers, one, you're already different. 100%. You're different against, 80, 70, 80% of the field. So no love's going to the OKC side. I will say, though, like Jalen Williams has been playing really good. And that's Jalen, like Jalen, because they have another Jalen as well. He's 6,200. Not much ownership going there. He put up almost 50 DK points last night. He was the pivot last night, spread, and Tyler. He was 6,000. THT's 5,900. You can go to a guy who's been getting 30 minutes combined, nonstop, playing great, defensive stats too. And, these are those pivots that like separate you from winning 100K to you just like borderline cashing or not making any money. So this game tonight is like one of those exact examples. You can get different with Reeves, Mamba, even Wenyen Gabriel. I know it sounds horrible, but what if Vanderbilt or Rui gets in foul trouble right away, right? Something happens. These guys get a significant bump. So just kind of be aware tonight for that situation. And even Troy Brown. Troy Brown's another guy. He's 3,600? Got to consider him.
We the People says, can we talk about how bad Schrader is like we did Russ? Okay, let's do it. Schrader sucks. Oh, look, there's no debate in the chat. Oh, look, nobody cares because everybody agrees on that. We the people, we're trying to stir the pot here. The Orlando Magic are plus 7.5. They're in Milwaukee. They're taking.
Wait, what about Tyler? What about Tyler?
He just skipped right past me. He's in autopilot mode, Cito.
I am. I'm like Holden. It's been an hour.
I didn't have much in this game though, but I just say Giddey's double at plus 160 and sprinkle on his triple double at 11.
Hey, what about Tyler? What about a Reeves double? What does that pay?
I don't see anything listed for the Lakers side right now on FanDuel. Like it's only OKC props. Probably with that AD news just coming out, they're probably waiting to see if anybody else's news comes out. I do like that call though, because I think you're going to get a nice price on that, and he's going to have paths to that.
Yeah.
All right. Tyler, everything there about that Lakers game?
Yeah, that was all I have for that one.
I still can't believe C don't pick the Lakers, and then I realized it's the Thunder, so it's actually not that bad a pick. Plus
you don't think they can win, spread?
No, I actually do, because I watched them last night against the Kings without De'Aaron Fox, and they look terrible.
Yeah, they are bad without SGA.
Yeah, that's not all you're stirring there, Shark. You got all types of things moving around in there. That mac and cheese sound. Milwaukee Bucks minus 7.5, total 226.5. What do you think, Tyler? We like the Magic. Well, not we. I like the Magic. I like the Bucks. What do I do?
You play the Magic's money line?
No way.
Yeah. Well, you see this injury report?
Let's look at it.
Giannis questionable. Jay Crowder questionable. Ingles doubtful. Middleton doubtful. Portis questionable. Matthews already out.
But Jonathan Isaac is questionable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that really means much on the other side. Like, Lopez could dominate this paint matchup against Wendell Carter, but the Magic just have so many other players at that point if all those guys sit for the Bucks. They're on a back-to-back. They got the win last night. I think they're going to look at tonight and be like, yeah, it's the Magic. We'll just punt this game, basically. And they're going to send out their scrubs thinking they can get the job done. The 7.5.
No, I still got All-Star Jrue Holiday if I take the Bucks.
Yeah, I still love the plus 7.5 on the Magic even more, but I do think there's a pathway that they win this game. So I'm on the Magic plus the 7.5 and also give me the money line.
Well,
that'll be my dog of the day.
On my computer that says listen to Tyler. So all right. I'm listening to Tyler. I'm taking my word. Chris, what are your thoughts here when the Bucks take on the Magic? Some opportunity here for some more value. Hey, if a lot of these guys get ruled out.
The Magic will win this game straight up.
Wow, we're coming with some hot takes. You guys better give us the thumbs up. We're banging players' moms. We're giving out hot takes. C-Dome's got the Knicks in the finals. We're taking plus 300 money line. Like, give us that thumbs up.
You're stretching this Knicks thing a little too much, bro.
You're never living that one down.
You're making.
You're gonna get love when you go to New York, though. It's better than getting love in Oklahoma City, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I think Tyler's right here, especially if a lot of these guys end up not playing. I think it just makes it even more enticing for the Magic. Magic aren't a bad team, dude. Like, they are a young team on the rise. Like, I'm very excited. Someone who went to UCF, who's lived in Orlando for like 10 years, I'm very excited for the direction, of this team. It's been a struggle, for a long time. So a lot of young guys, especially with next year, I'm looking forward to see what they do. They need to land a big free agent. I know it's difficult, but I don't know if you guys saw, they projected the 2024 draft, the Magic to draft Bronny. And if that's the case, LeBron comes to Orlando.
Did you see the quote they brought back up of LeBron saying if he ever got traded to Orlando, he'd retire?
He ain't retiring if that's the case, baby. He's coming to Orlando and shipping.
Who doesn't want to take their kid to Disney World? Unbelievable, this guy.
Well, he's going to be a grown-ass kid by then. Jordan's kid came to UCF, and now he's dating Scottie Pippen.
How do you guys feel about him being mocked as a top 10 pick now? Do you guys think he's that good? Do you think it's just more of a name? What do we think?
It's too early, bro. Send him off to Kentucky and see how he can play, a year at that high level of basketball. Or if you want to go to the G League, it's whatever. But seriously, go to a team that plays high-level teams all year, right, in college, in D1, and see how you fare. Like, a lot of times, if you're good and you're a guard, a lot of good guards come out of Kentucky. I don't mind that. Let's see what you got. Or go to the Pac-12 or whatever. Go play at UCLA. Let's see what you can do. A lot of great guards have come out of UCLA. Don't mind it either. But it's too early, bro. Like, I think it's way too early still. That's just really what it comes down to.
How was your evening with Larsa Pippen?
I've never met Larsa Pippen. But what's crazy about that is Jordan's son, Marcus, he's like involved with like the guys I know, like in Orlando, and he came to UCF. He transferred from Illinois, didn't really fare well at UCF. He played ball, but then he opened up like a successful shoe store in Orlando. Obviously, he's got money, right? Because Jordan. But it's crazy though, right? Because he's now, she used to take care of him like as a kid, and now he's dating her, and so, it's crazy because it's like you're Jordan's son. Your dad was teammates with this woman's ex-husband. Like, it's just what a wild little narrative, And if you guys
did you smash the babysitter when you were young,
bro?
kid?
To make it even more crazy, Malik Beasley's on the Lakers now with her son.
I know that's wild. That must be so lame to be her son. Unbelievable. What? Oh my gosh. I bet you she's fun though.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about adventures in babysitting, right? Older people will remember that movie.
But going
Alicia
back to
Silverstone.
But going back to this game, if all these guys sit for New Orleans, for Milwaukee, it's going to open up some value there. So we got to just really be kind of on dial with the injury report and seeing what happens. But from like a DFS perspective, I'm not really seeing anything currently, but that could change. I think Giannis could potentially sit here, definitely, especially because he had the issue with the quads and he played last night. And this could be a game where they just say, you know what, like let's take it easy. But yeah, outside of that though, I do like Orlando money line.
All right. Anything more from this one, Tyler? I'm getting lost today. This is not tough. This is definitely been a test of my moderating abilities. The New Orleans Pelicans plus 1.5 in Portland taking on the Trailblazers. Total 233. Tyler, I hated my projections because they want me to take the Pelicans, and I'm like, there's no way, math model. There's no way. It's Pelicans, Blazers or pass, and I think we want to take the Blazers, right?
Yeah, I just think when these two teams play, not even when they just match up, when either of them play a game, if they're on the road, you fade them. If they're at home, you back them. I think they're into that boat now. So Blazers at home and basically a pick 'em. I'll take the shot there. Dame versus CJ. I think he can cook him. I'm not as worried about Herb Jones coming out to guard him because he'll just shoot him from 50 feet away and they'll go in. So it's Dame we're talking about. The Blazers are going to pick up the win tonight. I'm on the Blazers.
Who do you like here in this one, Chris?
Blazers. It's not even a question. I'm going to rock with the Blazers here. Dame's getting a lot of ownership back to back, still coming off that 71-point high. Could be a bounce back spot. Don't mind it. You're going to have to really see if it can fit. I mean, he's almost 12K now. He's 11.9 on DraftKings. But outside of that, I mean, you're going to maybe have a little bit of like Matisse Thybulle or Eubanks. They're both cheap plays. They're getting a little bit of ownership. Yeah, man, that's it for me. There's really not much to speak of in this game.
All right, there you have it. NBA Rundown at runpuresports.com. Give us that thumbs up. My promo code spread15. These two guys are each going to give their promo code when we give the best bets. And I'm going to go to Tyler. So, Chris, you can think about our bet. We kind of we got so off track. We haven't thought about what we're going to wager. But, Tyler, start with you. Best bet for the day?
Yeah, I'm going to take that under in the Chicago game. I believe that game's going to stay under that. They just played last night. They're playing Detroit, who just doesn't want to win right now. I think that stays under that 221. I think you see an ugly game there. Give me that under.
All right. Since we're betting, my best bet will be Mark Williams over 9.5 rebounds. That's what I'm going for. My promo code spread15. Chris, give us your best bet and then tell me what we're wagering here.
Yeah, I think the best bet is over 21 points for Durant. We talked about it earlier. Really, his first game, he's in a bit of a smash spot. I'm sure he's probably gonna knock down a few threes too. So I don't mind that 2-3 or the over 1.5 threes either. So that's probably my best bet for the night. And then from like a team perspective, Orlando Magic money line against the Bucks.
Love it. I thought you might take that Lakers money line.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. Well, actually,
let's combine them. Let's combine them right now. Magic.
Lakers. Well, if you guys know, I've hit the underdog on our show. Like what, the last 3 or 4 shows that we've done.
Yep.
And so, Lakers.
Lakers gets me plus 800.
Yeah,
I gotta do it, right?
That's our little rundown, little two team parlay special. But spread, you know me, if we're gonna do that, might as well tease it too, right?
We're not teasing anything.
Yeah, that's
all right. What are we betting, Chris, for next week?
What are we betting for next week?
Make them wear a Lakers shirt or something on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
You wear Kings, I'll wear Lakers next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll wear a Kings hat if they lose.
Okay, I'll wear some Lakers gear.
Oh, it's the Mark Williams. So if he has under 10 boards, I win. If he has over 10 boards, you win.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Let's do it.
There we have it. All right, guys. And that was fun, man. I'm glad to have you back, Chris. I'm glad you had a good time in Cabo. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person here in a couple weeks. I mean, this game is getting more. Which game has more hype, Tyler? I mean, this is like a WrestleMania main event. Is it the title Big T matchup or is it the Randone Big T matchup?
That's definitely the C-Dome Big T matchup. I mean, they're trying to talk about C-Dome might not even show up. He might try and find an excuse. I'm not buying any of that. Our guy's going to be there in a few weeks.
Big T messaged me or texted me, and I just told him, I said, depending upon what day I come in and what day I leave. And he's like, well, you got to stay here till like Monday night, so we can golf too. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow, right? So I'm going to Hawaii from tomorrow till Sunday. I come back. I got to go to Denver for the live final. Because I got equity in a lineup with someone that my boy Bobby Gomes. So for me going there, hopefully ship. And then the next weekend is Kentucky, bro. Like, it's not too often that you say you got to go to Kentucky. That's already weird enough. So,
All right.
But, they can talk all that shit. That's what they've been doing. I hear shows. I listen to them. I'm not even on there. I don't even speak. And I just hear them chirping and chirping and chirping. So continue to like add fuel to the fire. I'm facing a late 30, early 40-year-old guy who's out of shape, that doesn't do much. It's, he's going to need air, bro. So I'm bringing oxygen. We got a first aid kit. It should be fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it comes down to. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Wow. I mean, you're bringing the fire today. I don't even know. What do we say now, Tyler? I just hit the credits, right?
They just wrap it up, spread, play the outro. It's game over now.